Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to the sound test room. Today we are taking a look at the studio instruments horns, studio horns. Okay, so similar to the strings, it's got loads and loads of control, loads of different articulations here that we're going to be playing with, and lots of different instruments. This particular one is the soul section here, and then you have the jazz section, R&B section. Again, you have controls for auto vibrato, humanize, key clicking, attack, release. So, and then so before we go through some of the different instruments like the saxes, the trumpets, trombones, bass trombone, and any other sections, I'll show you a little bit about the articulation. So for instance, if we go here to sustain, we change this to staccato. So not shorter, expressive medium. Then we have expressive short. Fall long. Cool. And fall medium. And very fast fall shorts. Then we have Doit. And last but not least, shake. Very cool. Shake is. All right, so let's go back to sustain. Here, let's just get rid of the instrument just for a sec. In fact, we can close that. You've got this track here, and included in this is this tiny little bit of brass section that I recorded with no articulations applied apart from sustain. And then here we have let's just take this one off, I'll solo this, a bit of the string section with some articulations more sensibly applied. And some other bits and pieces added in for a little kind of, I don't know, funky loop. Okay, cool. So added that, and this is just one of the this is the standard instruments kind of thing. And then we have a one of the mono synth. I'll quickly show you this. The AS mono synth doing the bass. Right, okay, so let's apply some stuff to the horns. So we'll go back to our, where are we, our horn section here. We don't need this section at the moment, so we can just do this. Now, this is how you can do this via MIDI. It's great, this is, and it's really easy. Make sure we select our area here to be edited, and we'll go into edit, and we'll expand it full screen and make sure that you can see the whole thing. Here it is. And this is our brass section MIDI view. So what we're going to do is, I'll just quickly do this, and I will solo the brass so we can hear what's going on. Okay, so let's throw. Right, so this first one here, now you can do this note by note, right? You can select a note, you can double tap it and go to articulation and choose an articulation, right? Easiest way to do this is if you want to a bunch of notes selected for a particular articulation, you just hold and you'll see this little flashing select square, and you can select all three, double tap, apply an articulation. For instance, we will apply expressive short to those three, and those first three have got an expressive short articulation. Then we can choose this one note that's on its own here, and we'll go Doit here. And then these ones, we could select, say, let's go with all 6 of those notes there. Apply an staccato articulation to those, and maybe skip those couple there. Let's go with these. Double tap on those and apply maybe a full short on those. And let's just see how that sounds now. So now here, let's see, there is a note that's higher, and I'm going to apply a doit to that as well. So here we go, boink. These ones here, these, I will double click on these, and this is how you make your, let's try a staccato on those, and on these 4 here, we'll just double tap one of them and go with a shake. We'll make this a little bit quicker now. Double tap, and the articulation will be 4 medium for those, and all those. Double tap, select. Articulation can be expressive medium for those, and this is all making different stuff. So let's just have a quick listen to how that sounds on its own. Now, you wouldn't probably put this much articulation in, but the idea is to show you how quick it is and how great it sounds. Okay, so you've applied your articulation, you've got your brass section going. You can come out of this now and kind of try it with the whole thing. Don't forget, we've got some applied to this as well. So it makes a more realistic kind of brass section. All right, so let's not worry about the MIDI anymore. Let's just make sure we go to our instruments and you can hear some of the other sounds that you get. Now, you get a lot. Now, I'm not sure, but possibly, let's go into solo section. If we go to alto sax here, look at some of the articulations for alto sax. Yep, you have more. You have a growl. And again, if you're recording this in via MIDI, you can apply the articulations exactly the same way as you've just seen. So there's growl. We have trill semis. Scoop. Again, use the articulations to put the scoop in where you want it, of course. Full short, you've heard these as well. Passionate. And a good thing... So there's a little bit of fall at the end of that. Expressive shorts. Expressive long. Marcato. Marcato shorts. And although this is set for mono at the moment, you can, of course, change it to poly. But, you know, since it's a solo instrument. And then we have the usual sustain and staccato. And that's for the sax. Now, I would put in some reverb on some of these. Always sounds quite nice. Let's turn it off for now. So let's have a listen to some of the other instruments. Maybe alto sax 2. And let's go with a sustain. Tenor sax now. Let's put some of that reverb on. And on this particular patch, let's just quickly jump back to studio horns here. I'll tell you what, the actual passionate would sound really, really nice. So for instance, with a bit of reverb, you know. Lovely. Let's try. Oh, we've got tenor sax too. Back on sustain articulation. Let's try. Oh, baritone. So depending on the instrument, the articulation change. Trumpet, for example. Let's look at trumpet now. Range. You could have put that in one note, for example, or maybe put in the scoop or a growl. Lovely. The articulations are really awesome and a great way and a quick way to add some expression to your brass parts or whatever, you know. So there you go. Trumpets, I mean, are going to be more or less trumpets, aren't they? Each maybe a slightly different tone and style. With trombones. Oh, that's really, really nice. Particularly if you like ramp up the actual beautiful. Really, really, really nice. So you've got different bass trombone now. Should listen a little bit. And then after you've gone through kind of the solo instruments, you get to the sections. So you've got like a R&B section. And again, you've got your articulations for your sections as well, as we saw at the beginning. So you have a soul section here. Awesome stuff. And last but not least, of course, we have our jazz section. You might have to wait a couple of seconds for this stuff to load, of course. And don't forget, a bit of reverb goes a long way with brass. And don't forget, on the solo instruments, you do the same. You'd record your noting, and then you'd just go through various notes, like we did with the this section here, and apply individual articulations to each of those notes. Anyway, there you go. Studio horns, very versatile, very powerful. Just like the strings, it's really good fun playing around with the articulations and adding stuff in. The temptation, of course, is to go bonkers. But when you've kind of finished kind of going nuts, you can go, well, you can dial it back a bit and go, well, what would sound more kind of realistic? Anyway. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Please consider becoming a patron or help support me and Joe here at Sound Test Room. It is very, very much appreciated. And I will see you later. Ta-da. So there you go. Logic Pro for iPad and the Studio Instruments Studio Horns. See you guys later. Ta-da.